The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all. Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, largest and proudest of the 2 remaining Dwarven cities. Once the seat of an underground empire, Orzammar now stands alone, cut off from the world by the Darkspawn, still clinging to the memory of its former glory. Below the vast statues and gilded halls where the noble families play at politics, the lower castes live in their shadows, scurrying to serve like their ancestors before them. Below that is you. You are casteless, the dirty secret staining Orzammar's perfect society, forced, along with your sister, to sell your services to the crime lord Barat. To the rest of Orzammar, you are proof that the casteless deserve their fate. But you know you do what you have to, the same as everyone, just to survive.
I can't keep gambling on you forever, Precious. You've got a sweet look, something to light a man on fire. But you gotta make it count.
Please, Barat. I don't want to do this in front of my sister.
Why not? She knows the slope of the land, don't you, girl? You told me a lot of things, not one of which meant more than a fart in the middens. Before me, your sister was just another duster. Now check her out. Braids down to here, gold-capped teeth. She can recite elf poetry and play the string harp. Every man's dream. All she's gotta do is find a lord, squeeze out some kid who looks like him, and we're all living the easy life in the Diamond Quarter.
Please, don't get involved. You know that never goes well.
She can do whatever I tell her, even if that means walking into the king's own palace naked. You keep your head down and say aye to any job I decide is low enough for scum like you. In return, I put out coins so you can doll yourself up and get a belly full of some nobleman's brats. Then you both go free, and I get to join the family and be called my lord for the rest of the little prince's life. That's what everyone likes, a castless with a big mouth. But I didn't come for the joy of your company. I've been looking at my investments, and this one hasn't borne much gold. I'm giving you another week, Precious. If you haven't found a patron, you're back to sweeping streets.
But I have. I've met someone. That is, I didn't want to promise, but he seemed interested. It's nothing definite, but he said he wanted to see me again.
Excuse me if I don't start knitting booties. Until I do, you're the one who's going to keep paying her debts with your service to the Carta. A few. Do a good job, and you might work your way up to footpad one of these days. Your buddy Lesky's waiting outside. He knows what I'll need from you today. Don't even think about bungling this job. Your whole family's on loose sand with me right now. And I know you don't have anywhere else to turn.
I'm sorry you had to see that. I've always tried, though. At least I've kept you from buying your future with what's between your legs. I should have told you. Barat's been warning me ever since two of his other girls found patrons at Lord Harrowmont's reception. They've been getting gifts already. Lord Rooston gave Elsie a surface silk gown and she's not even pregnant. Barat's getting impatient. You've worked hard to keep him from throwing us out. I can only imagine the horrible things he's made you do. But there are a lot of desperate dwarves in Orzammar. He could buy any one of them to run messages and knock skulls. You know the other options. Cleaning middens, begging, going to the surface. No. Unless you find a way to save us all from Darkspawn and become a paragon. We're pretty much on Barat's leash for life. It's sheer folly. One more way the nobles protect their status. They say casteless soldiers are more danger to each other than to Darkspawn. That it's an insult to the smith to let us touch a fine-made weapon. Truly, they just don't wish to insult the warrior caste by showing that given the same opportunities, we could lead an army just as well. Every year, more of the beasts come up from the deep roads. I've heard they've even been harrying the surface. Aye. They would even turn to humans for aid before us, it seems. There's been talk of an alliance against the Darkspawn. Even that the Grey Wardens have stepped up. But we don't have time for this now. Lesky must be waiting, and Barat won't like it if I'm late for my appointment. Money gives him power. He's got family on the surface, which means he can smuggle up lyrium and smithcrafts, and bring down silks, wines, and furs. And he played it smart. When he started expanding, he made sure it was only the casteless he shook down for protection, so the guardsmen didn't care. Don't underestimate him. Barat has thugs who'd kill their own mothers just to work for him. As far as the nobles are concerned, he still stinks of Dust Town. He's got money now, but you can't buy caste, you know? No noblewoman would risk a dalliance with him. His only chance to join a noble family is to claim kinship with a concubine who bears a noble's son. And that's what he wants more than anything. Don't you? Imagine what it would be like not to have people look at us like we're sewer sludge. To think our lives are worth something. It wouldn't be the first time. Garelon the Blood Risen was born castless, you know, before he went to the surface. And he came back and won the throne. Many paragons have humble origins. All that matters is that the Assembly recognizes their achievements. And once they get that vote, they found their own house, and are as noble as if the ancestors themselves had made it so. Oh, don't pay attention to her. She's just a bitter old drunk. She also said you'd never learn to walk, or stop dumping in the bed. Make something of yourself just to spite her. You know how desperate the nobles are for more children? They can barely field enough soldiers to hold the walls against the Darkspawn. If I could give one of them a son, the whole house would celebrate. And we'd all be raised up to noble caste to join the family. It's what Barat's betting on. That's why he paid for my clothes, my voice lessons. He wants to share the reward. Yes. That is, I hope. He certainly seems charming. He treats me like a real lady, not just someone to tumble and forget. I don't want to say, in case I'm wrong. It just seems too mad to think of one of the most important men in Orzammar with someone like me. Anyway, time is resting and I need to get dressed. These fashions will be the death of me. 100 buttons on each sleeve. And Lesky's probably already outside waiting for you. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you tonight.
Who's that? Why are you bothering me? Rika? Don't you talk to me like I'm an idiot! You think I don't know my own kid? What are you doing here anyway? Rika said you were finally making something useful of yourself. She's got the body. Might as well use it before a couple of kids twist it out of shape. You're lucky Rika stuck up for you, because I'd have put you out there with her. You were born with one coin to barter, and it's between your legs. You can try, but you'll never get it off you. Dust Town, it sticks to the skin. You don't bleed red enough for them, and nothing's gonna change that. All you can do is find some way to forget.
About sodding time. I was starting to think I'd have to bust in and get an eyeful of that spicy sister of yours. Growl. You're just jealous because you want the majesty of Lesky for yourself, you shameless hussy. What do you say? I kinda hoped you'd forgotten that. But as much as I'd love to keep chatting, we better get down to business. No such luck. Boss says we're out for a search and discipline. One of his smugglers is holding out on him. Name's Oskias, some surfacer. Barat got word that he's been selling shipments topside that never make it to Barat's ears down here. He wants us to find the rotter and see what goods he's holding back. Well, yours will be a short and tragic relationship. You ready to show him some pain? All he told me is find him. Duster's got some family from the merchant caste. He's probably staying near their quarters. You know, gold, lyrium, spices. Anything that Barat might cut someone's head off to get. Well, if he is skimming, we kill him, of course. I mean, Barat doesn't let anyone swindle him and live. Bringing his head on a plate is completely optional, though. Whatever lets you sleep at night, my friend.
You think I don't know who you work for? Is he onto me? Is he sending you to feel me out? Is that it?
Two bits for the needy. I seen you before.
You're one of Barat's girls, the one with the sword. You don't know from needing. Not until you're my age. You think Barat's going to want you when you're old? Soon's your muscles go, it's the clean crew on the streets for you. Unless you find some man to fill you with babies and give you the care for them, you'll be gone soon enough. Only place for you to end up is here, watching some casteless upstarts refusing to share their coin. Ooh, you drive a hard bargain, soldier. You looking for someone to shine your shoes, clean your pots, keep you warm at night?
Let's just get out of here. This guy's a shaft rat. Hurt his legs in a mine. His wits too.
Is that what you're looking for? That's worth 10 bits, no? Go ahead. Beat up an old man if it makes you feel better. I seen your man at Tapster's. I was waiting out back, but they wouldn't tip me the dregs off the ale barrel. Said it was going to compost. But I saw another Brad there with his surface money, and they served him. Called him Ascaius, sir. You think I got that close? Tavern keepers, they know all I have to pay with is dirt. Now get out of here, you're scaring off the other pockets. Alms! Alms for the poor.
Spare silver. My boy needs medicine. The docs say he won't wake without it. Don't look at me like that. I was beautiful once. I was beautiful.
So you ready to find this surfacer or what?
What are you doing here, Brand?
Have you heard? King's got a team who found traces of Brosca in the deep roads.
Oh? Found her body, did they?
No, tools. Signs of camp, things like that.
Paragon or not, Brosca's dead. She's been gone 2 years. No one survives the deeps that long.
Lesky, you old scamp. What are you doing here? Trying to charm me out of another set of ribbons for your girl?
Trying to talk you into being my girl, Olinda. You know my heart's breaking for you.
Don't you go saying that around my husband. Who's your friend? You're welcome to look around. I'll slide on the markup since you're Lesky's friend, but I can't give anything away for free. Just don't touch anything if you can't meet the price.
Great prices on all arms and armor, like they were crafted by the Paragon Smith Brosca herself.
Do you mind? I have nothing you can afford, and as long as you're here, no one else will come. Are you gonna take that tiresome, the world is against me attitude? That doesn't make me like you. I have a trade, a role in society. It's true that in Orzammar I have no accepted caste. But I think of the brand as just a part of the license to vend my wares. I use the washable ink, and when I return home, it's gone first thing. I cannot imagine wanting to wear the beastly thing every day. You certainly don't choose to live any other way. If you were on the surface, you could open a shop, claim land, and start a farm, and get legally married by the human chantry. Orzammar is the only place in the world that will treat you like this. Yet you all stay. I'll never understand it. There is one thing about the surface, though. There are no castes, and we dwarves all look to help each other. It always seems sad to me that our homeland is the one place in this world where you're likely to be killed by a fellow dwarf. Now, unless you're gonna buy something, I need to unload and get home before the rain sets in. That's water from the sky, by the way. I hope you make better luck for yourself in the future.
Watch yourself. The Shaper doesn't need your footprints all over his clean clothes. We'll stand further back. I'm not gonna risk my position by having someone see you near his robes. After my mother took 5 years of her personal time sewing fine dresses for the head maid at the Shaperate, Mother tells me they never considered a single other candidate when the position opened for underwasher. They control Orzamar's memories. They oversee births, marriages, death records, histories, everything we do or are. Except you, I guess. Casteless and criminals aren't allowed in a Shaper's presence. I am not casteless. I am an honorable member of the servant caste. I serve my betters as is my place, decided by the ancestors who granted my mother my birth. I am not a criminal. You were once. Whatever horrid deviants you're descended from were written out of the histories and deemed unworthy to join the ancestors. Obviously they bred anyway, but their children can't possibly deserve the same protections as those who were legitimately born. As if I'd stop for you.
This place is going to the nugs. Casts running around like they own the place.
The ancestors were smiling on my bets today. Another round from the house.
No casteless. Who the dust are you? Oh, my mistake. I didn't realize you were one of his. I'm not looking for any trouble. Is that what this is all about? He's here, all right. Right over there. Been nursing that same mug half the day. Paid up front, though. Good silver. What's he done? Right, that's real clever. I hear what you're saying. You're free to drink here anytime, and whatever else you gotta do. Just try and keep it neat. I'm still paying for this space.
Hey, I was saving that seat.
That's real thoughtful, Ascaius. It's tiring work looking for you.
How do you know my name? Oh no, you're not from Barat, are you? Because that would be too much. I don't think I could handle. Look, I always been loyal to Barat. He's been good to my family. I know how much I owe him. I haven't. I wouldn't. I do have some lyrium ore. I have a little deal with one of the mining families. If it worked out, I was gonna bring Barat his cut, I swear. I'd be crazy not to.
Suicidal, one might say.
Just a little, maybe 25 sovereigns worth.
25 sovereigns?
Most of that's with my buyers on the surface. I just picked up a few nuggets down here. If I were to maybe give you a piece, that's a lot of coin. Could you forget to mention this to Barat? Not long. I mean, I'm not cheating him. I mean, this is my first time. Oh, please don't kill me. Surfacers pay good coin for lyrium. Mages up there, they use it for their spells. Smiths use it in enchanted weapons. I just took the money and ran. I mean, back to Barat to share the profits. I've got a lot of lyrium. Maybe we could work something out. Share and share alike. I don't got any coin myself. I make that topside, but you can take the ore and sell it, maybe get enough to get out of this nest. What do you say? All I have is the 2 nuggets, but they're yours if you let me out of here.
Are you breathing smoke? Barat will kill you if he catches you with his lyrium. Well, that's a whole other story. We need to sell it before we go back to Barat. And to someone who won't run to him. Tell you what, cut me in 50 and we'll take it to Olinda. Remember her? She likes me and refuses to work with the old man. Fine. What, am I gonna fight you for it?
Then what happens to me? Yes. I'll go back up to the surface right now. I'll move to Orlais, to Antiva. Thank you. You're as kind as you are beautiful. May the ancestors bless your steps.
They say the warrior caste is hosting a proving.
I didn't
so the
see
Grey
that.
Wardens
I swear.
can look for candidates.
Barat won't hear anything from me.
Was that smart? If Barat finds out Oscaius ran, he'll kill you. He'll kill me. He'll make you kill me, then yourself. Then he'll probably stew us and serve us to the poor. And leave behind all this? We should sell this quick and report back before Barat starts wondering what's taking so long. Unless you think we should give it all to Barat. Then let's head back to Olinda.
What are you two doing back here? Well, that's not what I was expecting to hear cross those lips. Where exactly would someone like you pick up lyrium? I think that's probably something I should never know.
Didn't I tell you she's a gem?
How much do you have? I can give you 30 silvers per nugget.
Only 30?
It's less than it's worth, I won't lie to you. But the market for it's topside, and that won't be easy for me to reach. And I'll have to find a buyer who won't ask where it came from. For that, I can't afford more than 30. Because we have it, and the folks topside need it. It's what their mages use to power their spells. And it's the only metal that'll let magic stick to a shield or sword. Now, do you want the deal or not? All right then. Let me take that off your hands. And you probably shouldn't come around here for a while, just in case.
We really should get back to Barat.
Go back to your dirt pile, scum.
I assume this pile of worthless junk belongs to you? You realize it's in the way and that the patrols will not be able to come through? Move it, or I shall have it thrown out in the deep roads, and you with it. Nonsense.
It's true. They said that the servants needed to polish the floors on that side of the commons in preparation for the new commander's first commission.
Yes. The new Idukan commander's feast is tomorrow, isn't it? I suppose it can't be helped then. Very well. You may leave your goods here for now, merchant, but move them out of the way as soon as you can. I'm watching you, Brand. Keep your hands off my goods.
Turn around, Brand. No castless on the grounds.
I think what my friend meant to say is we were just leaving. What were you thinking? No castless are allowed at the proving.
Of course.
The king is old. His rule won't hold much longer.
Prince Balin seems far more sympathetic to our interests than Trian.
Balin has some tastes of his own that he knows I can provide. We'll finish this later. It's about time you two showed up. What happened with What kind of rot are you trying to feed me?
He told us he'd be putting together a side deal for lyrium, but he'd already sold it.
Jarvia, send a dig troop topside. If Ascaius had a hiding spot up there, I want us up to our elbows in it.
As you say.
And the matter of punishment? Very interesting. Seeing how my cousin was at the Tapsters this afternoon. And he says he saw something change hands between you and Ascaius. And then the Duster Sodding stood up and walked out on his own 2 feet. Does that sound like what I asked? Jarvia, what does that sound like to you?
Sounds like some jumped-up face brands thought they could take a bribe and let him walk free. That's just not right.
The lady says it's not right. You wouldn't disagree with a lady, would you?
Right. I mean, no one's gonna say spit to you, Barat. But we can't move that free. We needed to get Ascaius somewhere private. We took him to the lava sinks behind the mines. You won't be seeing him again.
I don't like you making me look weak, but it's smart to try to keep the Swordcast from asking questions. That's why I like you two. Now I got something else for you. Make some use of your unique skills. Not if you know what's healthy for you. This one, I want you invisible. The Warrior Cast is hosting a proving today. All the best fighters, last man standing, you know the sort of thing. They're showing off for some Grey Warden who's looking for candidates to drag off to a life of eternal glory. Now, it's not often we get every named fighter in Orzammar lined up like that. And I have certain acquaintances who take an interest in this sort of thing. There's a lot of coin to be made when people get the fever up. Favorite fighter's an officer named Minar, veteran of 4 Darkspawn campaigns. Everd's a long shot. Just got back from a deep roads offensive. Some young buck who has all the ladies drooling. I've got a lot of money riding on him. Mine and other people's. I expect to see that 8-to-1 pay off. Understand? The fight only gets announced to contestants themselves to prevent illegal gambling. So first, you'll have to find Everd, see who he's fighting and when. When the name Minar comes up, I want you to slip this drug into the bastard's water. It'll slow his reflexes, just enough to take the edge off, not enough to show. But it wears off quickly, so don't use it until just before his fight. He's the kind of warrior who wants to show off his oiled physique to a cheering crowd. You think he wants scum like us making money on him? Don't let him know what you're doing. Just find his chamber, see when he's fighting, then go to Minar and dump the drug. I'm not asking you to distill it, just drop it into a basin. That's all you need to know. He should have an alcove for his pre-fight preparations. All the fighters are provided basins of water. If you're asking how to sneak in there, you're pretty much saying you're no good to me. You'll be in the fighters' quarters under the stands. You bet you will. Here's your pass to get on the grounds. The proving starts as soon as the clock strikes. And when I say I have coin on this, I'm not talking about some pittance, like the value of your life. If I don't see Everd's name on the winner's sheet, you'd better make sure I never see you or your sister ever again.
So this is a gift, huh? I've never been to a proving. You know, 2 sweaty warrior cast men all oiled up by servant girls and wrapped in shining smith-wrought steel. Hundreds of beautiful women watching from the stands, wanting nothing more than to rub them down after. Don't tell me you never wanted to sneak in and see one for yourself. Ha! I bet you could beat the beards off most of those overstuffed swaggers. Wouldn't that be nice? And if gold coins fell from my mouth whenever I spoke, that would be grand. And only slightly less likely. Because as criminals and exiles, we are rejected by the ancestors. Our very presence would pollute the sacred grounds. And no warrior wants some brand watching while he gets laid out. Makes it harder to take him seriously when he flogs you. Think about their responsibility. Take these humans and elves who spent their whole lives flitting around eating figs and teach them to fight Darkspawn? Of course they're gonna need a dwarf to help them. Here they get to pick from the best of the vein. I don't know. So the Shapers write you into the histories as a mysterious hero? To save a bunch of elves and humans who would otherwise end up as a Darkspawn buffet? To honor the terms of our 1,000-year-long alliance with the Wardens? That kind of thing. Not like turning your back on the stone to take a caravan topside. Fighting Darkspawn is a sacred duty. The king decreed long ago that a dwarf who joins the Wardens retains his caste. They're the only surfacers who care what happens here. They drove the Darkspawn back in every blight. And people say they've got some secret magic that lets them do it. Can you imagine them turning down all those steeled-up warriors for one of us? Put on that armor and everyone hails you as a hero? Oh, it'd be great. Except for the part where you have to hunt Darkspawn. I've spent my whole life trying to save my skin. I'm a bit too fond of it to lose it now. I was in the Diamond Quarter once when they brought back a trophy from the Deep Roads. It was only a head, but it was all twisted up and scarred, with teeth like stalactites. And it smelled like rank air from an old cave. I can't even think of a joke. That should tell you how bad it was. Not like turning your back on the stone to take a caravan topside. The king decreed long ago that a dwarf who joins the Wardens retains his caste. They're the only surfacers who care what happens here. They drove the Darkspawn back in every blight. People say they've got some secret magic that lets them do it. They say you can go an entire lifetime without a single Darkspawn setting foot on the surface. From your lips to my ears.
You again. I said you weren't allowed on the proving grounds, Brand. Looks legitimate. Go on through, then. But stay to the trenches. Grey Wardens don't need some eyesore getting between them and the fighters.
Lovely.
Did you see that first bout? Ostar's helmet practically shattered, but Dulbo still has the Ancestors' favor.
Stone's Embrace. That's one of them. One of the Grey Wardens. Oh, I dare you to go over and talk to him. Say, "Welcome to Orzammar, Warden, sir. May I drink your bathwater?"
Stone met, and blessings on your house. That was the proper greeting for an outsider last time I visited Orzammar. Has it changed? Or is there a reason you're looking at me so strangely? Do they say the Grey Wardens are disrespectful, then? My name is Duncan. I'd say of the Grey Wardens, but I suspect you already know that. Pleased to meet you. Then you have certainly proved your courage, though I hope I'm not quite so fearsome as all that. The Wardens are always looking for those who have the courage to spend their lives in battle against the Darkspawn. It's rare we find those with both the skill and the will. The best Wardens are ruthless to their enemies, compassionate to their friends, and inspiring to their troops. It's a lot to look for. but I hope to find it here. And I hope you also may find what you are looking for.
I can't believe you talked to him. A Grey Warden.
Disgusting. Get away from me.
Do they have anything to eat around here?
Sweetheart,
Sod it. He's stone drunk. He could draw a dead man for his bout and still lose. Rot's gonna kill us if we slip up here. He's already jumpy enough after that stunt with Oscius. Hey, I just had an idea. So, you've been rubbing my nose at how you're the meanest thing with a blade, right? Evaird's armor is over there, and you're about the same size. Got it. It'll help if you can distract him, though. Just, talk to him so I can sneak past him without him noticing. Let's do it quickly. We don't have much time.
Hey, only fighters are allowed in these chambers. Who are you?
I don't care about your name, Brand. My fight should be called any moment now. You can come back and clean then. It's ill luck for me to touch someone the ancestors have cursed. But if you like, I could tell you tales that would make your friends weep with envy. Aye, long and terrible they were. 500 men venturing into deep roads that no one's traveled in years. Everywhere we walked, we heard them, scratching in the walls. But they only attacked when we stopped. You got used to the smell of your brother's blood, but never to the Genlock's reek. It takes great skill, for if you let one wound you, the taint festers until you run mad. We die so the rest of you can live snug and remember the glorious days when our empire stretched beneath half the world.
Bout 3 is next. Officer Minar versus the warrior Evair. Fighters, make final preparations, then report to the ring.
That's my fight. We'll finish this when I return victorious.
I got him! No more time. Make sure you have everything and go tell the Proving Guard you're ready to fight. And don't forget to keep your helmet down.
Combatants only.
And so I shall.
Stone met, Evair. I believe it is time for your bout. May fortune favor your fight, Evair. Are you ready? As you say.
This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar, for our honored guests, the Grey Warden. The warrior Evair, son of Galton, will fight Officer Minar, survivor of the battle at Tar Ellerin.
Don't choose the honor of the heart. Oh, sod it. Let's just fight!
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is Evair! A truly memorable fight. The young cadet vanquishes the wily veteran. Healer, see to his injuries. The warrior Evair, son of Galton, will fight last year's Journeyman Division champion, Adalbo, proven in glory before the stone.
You honor me with this fight. May we both win glory in the eyes of our lords.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
It's a fight! How lucky!
The winner is Evair! The ancestors have withdrawn their blessings and embrace a new champion on their field. The warrior Evair, son of Galton, will fight Lenka, silent sister in training. She has made her vows, but not completed her blooding. Will she be accepted into the legendary order? That will depend on her performance today. First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! Lenka went to the stone without a sound, as befits her vows. But it wasn't hard to see the blood that was spilled. Evair will advance to the final bout to determine the true champion of the ring against...
What? I'm out already? Hey! That's my armor!
Who are you? How dare you disrupt this sacred...
Wait, I know that man. That's Evair. Then what imposter did I fight?
Remove your helmet, warrior, and let all who watched you see your face. Your skills are impressive, but you are one man. Show yourself, lest I call the guards and have them do it for you. You insult the very nature of this proving. Guards, take this filth away.
Hold your man, I pray. This warrior has defeated the best you have to offer. Is that not what this proving is for?
We are honored by your presence, Warden. But this proving is not solely for you. There are laws which have governed this arena for 1,000 years. This woman is no warrior. She is casteless, rejected by the ancestors. Her very footsteps pollute the stone. She has no place here.
Except as your champion.
Are you awake yet? Psst. Can you hear me? How hard did they sodding hit you anyway? Did you have to put up such a fight?
As soon as everyone saw your face, Brand, the place went mad. Shut all the doors, examined everyone for family and caste. One of the guards recognized me and figured we must be working together. They burned 3 candles to the stump interrogating me about who put us up to this. I think they knew, you know, about Barat. Public whipping, loss of your left hand for stealing the armor, loss of your right hand for befouling a smith's work, public flaying for impersonating a higher caste, and if that doesn't kill you, they'll put you to death for polluting the proving. That Grey Warden suggested exile, but it didn't seem like anyone was listening. Huh. I guess not. I mean, I've been in most of them. They don't usually have this many bloodstains on the walls. Any chance you see a way out?
Good, you're awake. Barat will be glad to hear that. You caused a lot of trouble today. Barat lost 100 sovereigns for Lord Volney. The entire proving was declared invalid, and the Assembly already called for an investigation. You can't imagine the state Barat was in when he told me to get you. All he needs to know is that you exposed him before the entire warrior caste. Now they're asking questions, and as long as you have tongues to answer them, you're a threat. Enjoy your last night together. Sorry we had to put you in separate cells, or I'd suggest you have a last tumble. Barat'll be by soon to make sure you maintain your silence.
Leave off with your noise. You're giving me a headache. What do you mean? Oh, you're probably just upset. I remember one time when Mistress Jarvia was mad at me. She didn't lock me up, but she yelled a lot. And she hit me on the head. But it was real nice of her not to kill me. Stop bothering me. Oh, I couldn't do that. I'm not supposed to talk to you. Mistress Jarvia, she said wait here till the boss gets back. I don't know. Mistress Jarvia didn't say anything about you talking to her. Okay. I'll go get her. Don't try and escape while I'm gone.
Lovely. If we want to get away with this, we can't leave one man alive to tell Barat what we've done.
setting the whore free. If that freak of a sister of hers can't stay in her place, I don't need precious Rika either.
Rika? That the one you got all done up in lace? I've been wanting to get my hands on that.
I know what you mean. She's yours if you want her, boys. And let me tell you, it tastes as good as it looks. What in sod all is that doing out of its cage? Come on, boys. The little whore needs to learn her place.
If I must.
See him there all when we're done with you, and you just charged in and sodding slaughtered him. You have to be the luckiest duster in Orzammar. Barat's dead, and we're standing here. Hail to the sodding king!
Well, he sure was talking like she's still alive. But I won't turn down the chance to go take another peek. Hey, could you tell Rika I killed him? I mean, it doesn't do you any good if she thinks you're the most virile warrior in all the stone. You said it. Fortunately, if Barat's got them trained like he says, it should be a good long time before any guardsmen turn up here.
Lovely.
There they are! Seize the fugitives! Drop your weapons and walk down slowly. We will use force if you resist. You do not speak until the Shapers have judged you.
One moment, my friend. Did you not suggest this Barat might have arranged their convenient escape?
Regardless, the penalty for impersonating a higher caste is death.
If Barat is as influential as you say, perhaps he also masterminded this Everd's impersonation.
He's dead? Barat had many enemies, but also powerful allies.
Barat would have butchered us if she hadn't killed him first.
Your friend has once again demonstrated her courage. We Grey Wardens travel far and wide in search of those with the potential to join our ranks. It seems I have found one. Let me make my offer formal. I, Duncan of the Grey Wardens, extend the invitation for you to join our order.
This woman is wanted for treason. You can't do this.
I can, and I am. It would mean traveling to the surface lands and thus leaving your people, but it does offer you the chance to strike a blow against the Darkspawn and the Blight. Then you will be subject to whatever sentence the Shapers choose to impose. I think you know what that sentence would be. I would spare you from it, and for an excellent cause. And I see your friend would like to speak to you as well. Why don't you see what they have to say before you give your final answer?
I couldn't believe it when Sir Duncan said he wanted to recruit you. I was ready to kill you when I heard what you did at the Proving. But it worked out for the best. When I heard you'd been arrested, I ran straight to the Proving Grounds. But you'd already disappeared. That's when Sir Duncan said he wanted to invite you into the Grey Wardens. I almost fell over. Those are the rules of the Order. All Wardens leave their families behind. Please don't hold yourself back because of me. I think, for the first time, Mother and I will be fine. I spent the afternoon with my new patron. If everything works out, maybe I can even greet you as an equal if you return. Yes. He calls me his Amber Rose. Isn't that sweet? He has a voice like a poet. He has already promised to move Mother and me into better lodging, where he can find me more quickly when he wants me. I am. Truly. I could never make a life fighting Darkspawn, but if I can bear a son who makes his house proud, that's all I can ask. Go. Tell Duncan you're ready to be something more than a whore's little sister.
Those guys must have seriously cracked your skull. You're not gonna turn down being a Grey Warden, are you? Oh, if wishes only made it so, Raka. But think about it. We killed Barat. You think his family will still trade with us? We'd need to build up the whole thing from scratch. And plenty more folks will be coming after us. And I'm not talking single combat. I'm talking armies. No, Duster. If you stay here, you're more likely to end up on the headsman's block than sitting pretty in Barat's estate. Well, don't you worry about that. Old Lesky'll take care of her. She'll be the first one telling you to go. She never wanted this to be your life. Everyone in that proving fought Darkspawn, and you sure flogged them. I went up one time for Barat. It's real bright. She can hardly see anything, and everything smells funny, like food instead of stone. But a city's a city, and up there, no one cared about the brand on my face. Well, go back and tell him yes before he comes to his senses.
Have you spoken with your friend and sister? Then before these witnesses, I hereby recruit you into the Grey Wardens. Know that you are most welcome. Before we brave the deep roads, I would like to make you a gift of this mace, since you have so few possessions of your own. It was once wielded by the Warden Forel Idukan. I believe he was related to your king. I know you will continue his proud example. Goodbye, my friends, and thank you for your hospitality.